Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt from the East. For those of you who don't know, which actually would be about a lot of you guys. Also, another fun fact. Wow, I'm just full of fun facts today. I'm a model, and that is actually the topic of today's video. Who are you? How did you get into modeling? Why do you do it? Those questions and many more will be answered in this series of videos I'm going to be posting about it. When are they all going to come out? I don't know, but I'm starting with this one right here. So, I'm a model. I am modeling currently based out of Southern Oregon, but I move around quite a bit. I'm never really in one place for more than like 2 weeks max. Let's see here. How did I get into modeling? I grew up as an athlete. I've played sports since I was a kid. And in high school, for those of you who remember this, there was this magazine, I think they're still out, called East Bay Magazine. I used to get those things all the time. I think they came out like once every 2 weeks or once a month. And I always thought to myself, how dope would it be if I could be one of those guys in the magazines, or on the cover of the magazine specifically, holding the football or running down the track, and they're taking my picture, and I'm getting paid to do what I love to do, right? Like, how dope would that be? And of course, being a professional athlete is cool, but this seems to be like the easier, more glamorous side of being able to be an athlete, like getting paid to do what I love. Think about it. I'm in high school. I'm not getting paid to play football. I'm not getting paid to run track. Being a model, I'd get paid to do the stuff that comes natural to me. So I'm thinking in my head, like, this would be so dope. But I never really put those thoughts into action. Fast forward a couple years, I move up to Southern Oregon, which is where I currently reside, like I said before. And I'm in the mall with a homegirl of mine. We're walking around the mall, just having a good time, just chilling, catching up, doing as friends do, right? I see a kiosk for a modeling agency that I'd never heard of before. Not like I was super well versed in modeling to begin with, but I knew the big ones, like Wilhelmina, Ford, Soul, like that was it. But I see this kiosk for a modeling agency, and I thought, that's kind of interesting. Okay, let's just see what it is. I asked her if she wanted to sign up with me. They were having open castings. That's what I meant by sign up. They had all the portfolios laid out and saying, hey, we're having open casting call on this date and this date. If you would like to come and you meet these requirements, please fill out this whoop-de-whoop and come, talk to us, and we're going to try to make something happen, right? I'm thinking to myself, oh, this seems kind of fun. Homegirl, you down? Homegirl says, yeah, Matthew, I'm down. Matthew says, I bet. So we fill the thing out. A couple weeks goes by. I completely forget that I even filled out the information. It was like, the first month of school at the time. And so I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about it as whatever, Besides, in my past experiences, whenever I came across modeling opportunities, they ended up not being what I was hoping. And so because of that, I wasn't seriously looking forward to this. I just did it as a whatever thing. So, as I said before, 2 weeks goes by. I receive a phone call. Hello, is this Matthew? Oh, well, yes, this is Matthew. May I ask who's speaking? Turns out the agency actually called me, and they emailed me as well with specific instructions, and they said that they really wanted to meet me. And so I was really surprised. I showed up. I was not prepared at all. I came out looking, I looked business casual, I had a nice little sweater on, collar shirt underneath, some dope joggers on, some boots. I looked nice, but not casting ready whatsoever. I was not looking professional one bit. I did not come prepared either. I thought I did. I came interview ready, but not casting ready. Oh, my bad. I came interview ready, but not casting ready. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. To turn the volume off. Got a phone. But I show up. The line is out the door. The office is full of people that are all nervous. Everybody's wearing black for some reason. I didn't know why. I didn't realize at the time that solid color shirt, jeans, boots, and or heels for women is how you're supposed to dress for castings. I had all the colors of the rainbow on. I'm talking I had white, red, olive, and brown. And so I clearly stood out. And it was really funny. Everybody was dressed properly. They had their portfolios. They had iPads. They had notebooks. I was the most unprepared person in the room by far. And I started to sweat a little bit. And I was like, normally I'm not tripping about interviews at all, but this is not a regular thing here, clearly, because I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm talking like a freshly hit by a hammer thumb. I was sticking out. I'm just like, whatever, that's the situation I'm into now. Can't do anything to change it now. It's not like I'm gonna leave and go home and change. So I get called into the office. Long story short, I end up really vibing with the agents and the managers at the agency. It ends up being a very real thing. I discussed some of my concerns that I've had in the past of our previous experiences, and it turns out that this was not those negative experiences, which I was so happy to hear about. Long story short, I come back about a week or 2 weeks later, and I end up signing with them after another extensive conversation, reviewing contracts and all of that good stuff. And so that is my story as to how I first signed to the first agency that I'm signed to. By the way, I'm signed to 3 agencies, all in the United States. So my mother agency, which is the first agency I signed to, is called IMD Medford. That's my mother agency, as I said before. My second agency, and I'm going to tell you about my other agencies a little later on. The second agency I'm signed to, actually, I'm going to give these to you guys in order. The second agency I signed to, which was about a year and some change after I signed to IMD, no, about half a year after I signed to IMD, was JE Model San Francisco. Shout out to JE. Love y'all. I love y'all at IMD too. And then my most recent agency that I actually just recently signed to is Option 1 Models, which is based out of Chicago. Shout out to Antoine at Option 1. Shout out Teresa, Holly, Marina, and Candy at IMD. I love all of my agents and my managers. They're super dope. They're really good people. Each agency that I've signed with has been a perfect fit. Shout out to Philip and Tiffany at JE Model. Great people, super chill over there. But I say all of that to say, or to show you guys, one, it's super important to know exactly who you're signing to and that your personalities and your goals match with those that you are meeting with. And so, how did I know that I meshed well with the people at IMD, my mother agency, that I first signed to? When I say we had an extensive conversation, I mean we had an extensive conversation. I'm very thorough, especially with things that concern money. And so we literally just sat down and talked for like maybe an hour and a half. I don't know if that's a regular thing that they encounter, but I know I made sure that I got every single question I had answered. And I had a notebook with 2 pages full of paper. Ask my agent Emily at the time, she'll tell you. I had questions and I had statements to be made, making sure that I was getting what I wanted out of being signed to them. But so that's a little bit about who I am. And that's also who I'm signed to. If you see, you guys notice I'm looking down. I'm not looking at my phone, I promise. I got some notes written down. I'm just making sure I stay on track. For y'all, I do this for y'all. So that's also how I got into modeling. Why do I model? As I said before, I grew up as an athlete. I always really enjoyed sports. And I always thought to myself, that'd be really cool if I could, that would be really cool if I could actually get paid to do this, I mean, I would be able to wake up and say I get to go to work, which is a huge thing for me. Being able to wake up and having hunger and having enjoyment and passion for what you're doing instead of loathing what you're doing. I'm one of those creative people where I can't work a regular job like that. Like I need some type of work that I can use as a creative outlet. And contrary to popular belief, some people say that modeling is not an art, but I absolutely find it artistic. Not just anybody who's good looking can just jump up and model. It takes skill, absolutely. Like being just good looking can just get you in, but you're not going to stay and you're not going to continue working if you don't become good at what you're doing. It takes practice. But modeling challenges me also, I've always been challenged by sports from a kid to adulthood and physically, and I've realized that modeling challenges me in a completely different way, physically. And also it calls for a different thought process as I'm going about doing these transitions with my body language, as I'm adjusting to lighting, as I'm portraying different emotions, and all that good stuff. And so I love a challenge. I'm a competitive guy, as I said before. I played sports. I currently run track. I'm post-collegiate. And so, a challenge is something I'm always up for, especially if it's a challenge that continually presents new opportunities of growth within that challenge. I love that. And so, so that's why I'm modeling now, it's fun. I have a great networking opportunity from it. I've met a lot of great people. I continue to meet a lot of great people. It presents lots of traveling opportunities. I love to travel, and if I can travel on somebody else's dime, best believe I'm gonna do that. Yes. But yeah, it's great. I enjoy it. I love it. Let's see. Here. How do I get started with modeling? By the way, if you guys have any questions about anything I'm saying or stuff that I don't touch on, please just drop those comments and I will gladly answer questions in the next video. I'm gonna make a few of these videos, but yeah. So, how do I get started with modeling? One thing I will say is don't do it how I did it. I got really lucky for sure because my agents at IMD and managers, we're family. I don't even like to throw out my business relationship with them. We are a family. But how I was introduced to them, even though I was not prepared at all, is a story that I haven't heard from anybody else before. You know, I really think, well, I know it was definitely God's will for me to walk into that office because that's what pays my bills now. But anyways, on a serious note, how do you get started? I would not suggest doing things the way I did. When I say I wouldn't suggest it, I mean I wouldn't suggest being as unprepared as I was. If you want to get into modeling, I tell this to every single person who asks me, take a minute to just really reflect on why you want to get into modeling. Why do I want to do this? What do I want to get out of this? And what do I want to do once I'm in it? Once you answer those 3 questions, and if you still want to do it, and you've done your research, then move forward. Another thing that I would really suggest is studying the game. Within modeling, I would say modeling is like real estate, or even like a sport, right? You have to practice. You have to invest into yourself. And there are lots of hurdles and difficulties on the road to becoming a working model. On the work, even just signing as a model in general, it's difficult. It's not easy. Some models may make it look like it's easy because they're naturals, but trust me, it is not easy. As someone who's not a natural, I can promise you it's not easy. It's really fun and it gets easier. But like I said before, one of the things I love about it is that there's always new challenges presented along the way. So I would for sure suggest that you practice. Once you've, gone through those initial 3 steps in your head, is like, okay, what I want to do this, what I want to do, what I want to get out of this. Practice, practice, practice. I would absolutely make sure that you find out, if you don't know already, am I shy in front of the camera? Just to put myself in an example for you guys to get that a little bit better. I'm an outgoing guy. I'm usually the guy that shows up to an outing with friends. I'm super social. I've been known to get loud, not like rowdy loud, but like I like to have fun. Like I'm gonna laugh out loud. I'm in the grocery store. I'm gonna laugh out loud. I'm gonna talk to my friends. I'm gonna joke. We're gonna have a good time. I like to ha ha and he he from now and again. So I've always been known as the outgoing guy in my group of friends. I've never been known as a shy guy. I've never been known as an awkward guy. The first time I went in front of the camera, which was after I signed, I was so awkward and nervous in my pictures. It was crazy. And that's okay. And that's okay if that is you. That's not to discourage you from, modeling or anything. Because like I said before, I've been a working model. Well, I've been a signed model for 3 years and some change. I've been a working model for about 3 years. And things can definitely turn around and things can improve. But that's all completely dependent on what you choose to do, right? So I realized, like, holy crap, I've never been nervous in front of a camera in my life. Like, it's literally just me and my agent at the time is doing test shoots, and I was nervous. And I didn't know why. But I was nervous because I was uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable because I didn't practice what I was doing. So I jumped into a profession. Yes, modeling is a profession. I jumped into a profession unprepared and not knowing what I was really getting myself into. And so that's one huge thing I would suggest of you guys, is to really know what you're getting yourself into and to practice, 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 practice. I can't say it enough. Like, for real. How can you practice? Easy. Every day you wake up in the mirror, display 4 different emotions in the mirror. Do this every day for a week. The same 4 emotions. And just get better at them. And try to show different body language as you express those emotions, right? The next week, choose 4 different emotions. And then add those 4 on top of the other 4 that you practiced. Once you get comfortable doing that, get your camera or a friend to take pictures of you, You don't have to even have a friend to do it. Like, I have a tripod holding my phone right now. Get a little Bluetooth remote or just click the timer on your phone. We all got smartphones. We got an iPhone, Google phone, Android, whatever. We all know how to do it. Really, it's just a matter of, are you willing to do it? And so that's another thing I would suggest. If you have photographer friends, that makes it way easier, for sure. Thankfully, I have a couple of friends who are photographers, and I have people who aren't photographers but are willing to hold my phone for me. So practice those emotions from your mirror to then in front of a real camera. Just get comfortable, laugh. Practice even with just film. I don't know if you're interested in acting as well, but practice even just with film, just moving around, laughing, saying some stuff to the camera. Because with modeling comes sometimes speaking stuff, like commercials where you have to say a word or 3 sentences, whatever. It's all in the same realm. And so I would definitely suggest practicing with those things. Another thing that I would suggest as far as getting started. So you practice in the mirror when you wake up in the morning. You practice shooting with your friends. Now it's time for you to start building a portfolio. Why do you need to build a portfolio? If you want to work as a model anyways. If you just want to shoot just for fun, ain't no need to do that. But if you want to actually become a working model that signs to agencies, or even maybe not even signed to an agency, but that works with other companies and that pay you, not for free, that pay you, then you definitely need a portfolio. What is a portfolio? A portfolio is a physical or electronic display of your progression pretty much as a model. It's like your model, no, it's not your model resume. It's pretty much a show of your work. Whether it's actual jobs that you've booked as a model, and I mean, as you progress in your career as a model, the jobs that you book will go into your portfolio, but also just pictures from test shoots that you have shot. You put those in your portfolio to show the diversity as a model to clients. For example, my agents currently each have a different version of my portfolio depending on how they each choose to market me. For example, my agency in Chicago chooses to market me more as a sports model versus my agency in San Francisco I can't talk right now. My agency in San Francisco chooses to market me as more of a fitness model versus my agency in Medford, Oregon, IMD, my other agency, chooses to market me as more of a commercial model that can do fitness. My agency in Chicago, they market me more as high fashion. So each agency is going to market you differently. So you really want to have some type of diversity in your portfolio. It helps for sure. And so how do you get diversity in your portfolio? Everything is Googleable, but that's the point of this video. So I'm going to answer questions. This video may run a little long, but it's okay. I got y'all. So, diversity in your portfolio. How do you come about different looks? What if you run out of ideas? What I did was I went on Instagram to these different modeling agencies pages, or even just looked up good-looking people, honestly. Whether they're models, celebrities, actors, musicians, whatever. A lot of them are signed to modeling agencies to represent them. I went on their pages and I looked at people who had similar looks to myself. The reason why I did that is not necessarily to compare myself in a negative light, but more so to encourage myself that, wow, this person has a similar build as me, we have a similar look, similar complexion. I can do this too. And so that was really encouraging for me, and that's an easy way to be able to find things that you can do to add to your portfolio, poses to practice. And so before I said portray 4 to 8 emotions in the mirror every morning. So now practice those poses every morning, let's say before you walk out the door. These are easy cues that you can do for yourself to make to implement into your everyday life, so that once your time comes, once your card is pulled to be at an audition and then you eventually book, when the camera comes out, you're not nervous because you've been practicing. It's not like you don't know what poses to do, because you've been looking at portfolios and now you've been studying these poses. And so once the camera's on, you got some stuff in your arsenal. And eventually, as you progress as a model, you can make your own. You can add your own little twist to it. You can slightly tilt. You can bend the hips. You can put your leg up a little bit. You can do some artsy stuff with your hands, your neck, your eyes. You can squint. You can smile. You can do all that stuff, And that's where the artistic side of it really starts to come in, because you can literally create. You can literally create anything you want. You can do anything you want to do, and you are in complete control of how well you do, which is something that I really love about it. And so those are some tips right there and a little bit of knowledge on how you can get started and advice as you practice. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's all I got for you on those things. Last question that I've been asked a lot. These are all questions I've been asked, by the way. Like, I've literally got a list of stuff I've been asked. But last question I've been asked is, how do you consistently work, or how do you stay in the game? Whew. Okay. I'm gonna try to make this as short and sweet as possible. This video is approaching 20 minutes. So, how do you stay in the game? It's like anything, man. How has LeBron James been relevant in the game this long? How? How was Michael Jordan? No, he's got the GOAT gene. Bad question. How did Kobe adjust from the old school style of playing basketball and transition into the LeBron era and continue to dominate? Practice. Studies the game. When I say studies the game, I mean, it's like film study for sports, right? So if I'm a football player and I'm a running back, I've been a running back in college for 2 years now. I'm second string. I want to move up to first string. I want to do better. I want to show how good I am. What's one thing that I can do as a football player? I'm going to study Marshawn Lynch. I'm going to study, I don't watch football. I'm going to study LaDainian Tomlinson. He don't play anymore, but he was raw. I remember when I used to watch football. I'm going to study, these really cool guys. I'm going to look at how DeAnthony Thomas runs with the ball whenever they toss on the ball. I'm going to look at these things. I'm going to see what they're doing that I'm not doing. I'm going to see what I need to do to be where they are, and I'm going to do that. And so how do you stay in the game? You continually practice. You practice, practice, practice. And you can never practice enough. It's like with sports, like I said before, it's like with strength training, If you have a goal for where you want to be, you work out until you get there, and then you work out to stay where you're at and to improve yourself. Same thing with modeling, You got to invest into yourself. If you need to take some modeling classes to keep yourself sharp, do that. Like I said before, it's an investment. You got to invest into yourself. Exercise. Absolutely. I should have actually said exercise much earlier. As much as you take care of this and, keep them teeth pearly white, you need to take care of this. You need to exercise. Absolutely. If you don't take care of yourself, people aren't going to book you, because if you don't look like what you look like in your portfolio, 9 times, or on your comp card, which is just like a mini version of a portfolio, it's got a headshot on the front, and it's got usually about 2 to 6 pictures on the back that just show you in different backgrounds, that show you doing different things, what you look like. If you don't look like that, then people aren't going to want to work with you. And so you need to stay in the condition that you were in those pictures. And so exercise is super big. As I told you guys before, I'm a track athlete, and so I'm working out literally 5 days a week. And so on my end, that's covered, but I definitely suggest you guys, if you want to get into modeling, to definitely exercise. It's super important, or at least to maintain the image that you have when you're initially marketed. And so those are some tips right there on how to stay in the game, how to stay relevant. As I said before, I'm still fairly new into the modeling game, so I don't know everything, but these are some things that I've learned, that I've heard from people who've been in the game for a while, and that I've seen, as I've just, gone through the motions and talked to people who have also been involved with the industry for a while and just giving me tips and advice on how to be better. And so, I want to see everybody win, and so that's why I'm making this video. I want to see you guys, really do well with your careers. I really want to see you do well as you follow your passions, as you go after things you're hungry for, and achieve those goals. And I wish you guys the best. Thank you for watching all, 24 minutes of this video. I'm Matt from the East. Please give me a follow on all social media platforms. And when I say all, I mean Instagram, and Instagram, because that's all I really got. I don't really use Snapchat like that. But thank you guys for tuning in. I love you all, and if you have any questions, like I said before, please send me a message, comment me, whatever. Do what you gotta do. But yes, please hit that subscribe button. All right, take care.